Firefighting of today has greatly evolved from its origins. Since the first historic instance of a fire department in ancient Rome in 86 BC, a lot has changed. In the United States, fire departments began in colonial America around 1678, completely composed of volunteers. At that time, fires were still put out by bucket brigades. Eventually, the piston pump fire engine was invented in the 1700s. From there, firefighting evolved into a career. In the 1900s, fire trucks as we see today were created. With them also came many tools and other equipment. Firefighters of today are equipped with some of the most advanced equipment on very modernized and well-equipped trucks. Because of this, the life of a firefighter is a complex one. This documentary will hopefully provide a glimpse into the life of a firefighter. For this documentary, I'm exploring the life of a firefighter in the O'Fallon Fire Protection District in O'Fallon, Missouri. Here, they have shifts of 48 hours on, 96 hours off. When they arrive for the first day of their shift, they get to the fire station at 7 a.m. From there, their day begins. They must be ready to go on a call at any time of the day. To start, they typically eat breakfast and just watch some TV, waiting for everyone else to get there. Once everyone is there is typically a morning meeting, and then they check out the truck.
Truck checkout, it's pretty much we go through the truck from top to bottom. We check the fluid levels, the air, anything that has fluid or air in it, we check that. We run all the tools, make sure everything's functional. It's just you pretty much to make sure that there's no surprises when we get on a scene, and also too it's good familiarization to make sure you're up on everything and make sure there's nothing missing. Everybody's pretty good about replacing tools or anything that gets used medical wise. So, but still, it's always good to double check everything. So,
after the truck checkout, it is a pretty typical day. When they are not on call, there's typically always something to do.
Generally out there helping the public. We do training, we clean the station, clean the fire trucks, always check out our equipment. That's generally our normal day, and of course run lots of calls usually. So,
along with all that, they have to find time for PR. PR has become a large aspect of the fire service since it is a taxpayer-funded organization.
Do schools, fire prevention. We do car seat installations. We do public CPR, smoke detectors. We go to a lot of community events. Have a lot of station tours where we invite the public in. We go to block parties. Really anything that relates to being out in the public, we do.
And what is actually involved with being a firefighter has changed quite a bit over the years. Originally employed just to put out fires, firefighters are now called on for so much more.
EMT deal with a lot of medical calls. We run anywhere from regular sick cases to heart attacks to car accidents, tons of stuff. We're pretty much a multi-purpose organization, and people have called us to help with their plumbing and electricity too. So we do it all. Anything people need, we will come running for.
When I got into the fire service back in 1988, it was, we provided fire and EMS service, and that was about the extent of it. With technology has rapidly changed the environment we live in. We never had to worry about active shooters. We never had to worry about terrorist threats. We never had to worry about those kinds of things back when I got on the job. And now that seems to be at the forefront, and those are things that we need to prepare for.
From hazardous materials handling, car accidents, rescue situations, or medical help, firefighters are called on to do it all. These changes have come due to the changing world that we live in.
The new way they make things, materials in homes burn hotter, quicker now. So, you got to be on your toes. More so, not that you didn't have to be then, but just got to be aware of what the changes are.
Due to this evolving job, there is endless training that firefighters go through.
It's hard to quantify how much training, because from my perspective, everything we do involves some sort of training component. It may not be formal education, it may not be a formalized training event, but when we're out there interacting with the public, to me that's training, because we're cultivating our skills and learning how to do things better. So every day is a training day, and every time that you get on that truck is an opportunity to learn something.
You can do the minimum and get by with 100 hours a year. As you work your way up, you want to be a captain. There's officers training, there's officer development, and then of course into the assistant chief's job. It never ends. I leave next week, and I'm gone next week of 3 days to do some training for doing live burns. There's stuff for doing live burns as the assistant chief, and going to fires as safety officer. That's a week long. So training never ends. If you want to be a firefighter and you want to be a good one, training never ends.
Formal training can range from learning how to pump water, learning how to properly rappel, learning how to force entry, or car extrication. Firefighters can do it all. In order to see truly what the life of a firefighter is like, we will briefly explore some training that firefighters go through. One of the key aspects of being a firefighter is fighting the fires. Any time of day, firefighters can be called to fight any kind and any size of fire at any location. This means that they have to have the skills that are able to adapt to these situations.
Pulls the attack line to the front door and prepares the line for entry by rick-racking the hose at the entrance. Once at the door, you call for water and don your SCBA and gloves. When the hose is charged, you bleed the line and check the nozzle pattern prior to entering the building. The nozzle pattern should be a straight stream. Before entry, check for heat by applying a short burst of water onto the upper third of the door. If steam is produced, you know you have heat. The next several tasks of the team is critical to limiting the fire's growth and effectively getting inside to control the fire. As the nozzle firefighter and the captain are ready to advance inside the door control firefighter opens the door cautiously. Once the door is cracked open, the firefighter at the nozzle flows a straight stream at the ceiling to check the temperature. If the water is converted to steam and doesn't return in the form of water droplets, this indicates high heat at the ceiling. This is a watch out in structure firefighting. High heat at the ceiling can mean the fire is rapidly moving toward flashover. Slowing the fire's progression at this point is achieved by taking a leg out of the fire triangle. When the temperature is reduced enough to allow water droplets to return from the ceiling, the fire attack crew advances the line further into the structure. Bouncing short bursts of water off the ceiling into the smoke layer should occur while the line is advanced into the building. Be careful not to flow too much water. Maintain your thermal balance by flowing enough water so the heated gases contract when cooled. Too much water can create steam that expands and collapses the neutral plane. If you note a change in conditions, flow some water to check the heat. It's about building your situational awareness inside.
With the creation of automobiles came a new hazard, car accidents. With further advances in cars, increasing speed capabilities, and advancing overall stability of the structure, these car accidents can quickly become a very dangerous situation. In some instances, passengers get trapped in the vehicles or cars can even erupt in flames. When this happens, the fire department is called. They are equipped with specialized tools that allow them to easily and efficiently cut apart a car in order to extricate victims.
So, step one, we're going to start back here. I'm a really big advocate of window spreads. Doing a window spread in this opening is going to generate immediate gap away from any victims that are sitting back here. It's also going to start the energy of the door coming out and away from any passengers inside of the vehicle. When we do our window gaps, we want to make sure that we place our tips in the right positions and that we're watching for slippage. As we get expansion here, we want to avoid shearing the outer door skin from the inner door skin. We want to try and keep that to a minimum, and we want to make sure that none of the tips slip in or out. So we're going to start there. Tool's going to come up. You'll notice that we've got basically rabbit ears or control points on the spreader tips. We also have very aggressive biting in tips. So we're going to get a real good frictional relationship on this window opening. Make sure that you boom the tool up so that this top arm is going to contact the roof rail, not just the door rail. Once I have that contact, then I'm going to go and open this up. I want to relocate so that I can analyze this gap that I'm creating back here and make sure that this gap does not blow apart the two door skins. You'll notice I've got a great expansion in here. Both of my panels are still intact. I just started to get some slippage on the bottom tip, so that's about where I want to stop with my window spread. I'm now going to remove the spreader, drop into this gap, and go ahead and blow apart this latch assembly. I'm going to start my attack up here around the window rail. If I put my tips initially right here where the two skins are married together with adhesive, there's a really high likelihood that I'm just going to shear that material out and separate the two skins. By starting up closer to the window rail, I'm able to carry the structural material of the inner door panel out, and then as I close my tool, I'm going to let those tips drift down into position until I'm closing in on the latch and get an effective spread.
Besides car extrication, there are some other instances in which someone would need to be rescued. Whether it's on water, in high areas, in confined spaces, or treacherous landscapes, firefighters are there to help.
We show up, it's unknown, the teams have to problem solve, have to find new anchors, have to find different ways to mitigate the problem. There's an overall team leader that comes up with plan A, plan B, plan C.
Okay, as soon as you're ready, drop that tagline down and we'll send you up the 300-footer.
Training is where it's at, building those relationships, and when you actually get out on a real incident, things go a lot smoother. Familiar faces, just knowing each other's operations. So
if he had if he has a leg injury, then if for some reason he got tilted in that litter, he would slide that way onto his broken leg.
Yes, Ed's is ready for a hoist with the litter. Copy, hoisting the litter. Just a checklist of equipment. We've got the edge roller, an evac pack, an Aztec, and the victim bag and the backboard. Do you need anything else? Yep, that's exactly what we need. Go ahead and hoist. 2, 1, stop. Four, 3, 2, package is on the ground.
In the end, it's getting the patient down and safe, and they all did that very well.
The other major aspect of being a firefighter is emergency medical services, or EMS. Ambulances are often running around, helping people and transferring patients between hospitals. Because of this, firefighters are often called upon when people need medical assistance. Firefighters can be called on for any medical situation, and they need to be prepared for anything. From delivering babies to CPR, firefighters can help with a wide range of medical situations. In fact, nowadays, firefighters are often paramedics, further adding to their medical knowledge. As we have seen, there is a lot that goes into being a firefighter. All this hard work has a purpose. Whether it's to help people, a family tradition, or a last resort, each reason is unique to each person. These different reasons are all what makes these firefighters the best that they are. I had the chance to talk to some of the firefighters I interviewed why they became firefighters. What I was able to see is that there are so many reasons.
Was enrolled to go to police academy. That's what I wanted to do, and a friend of mine talked me into, my free time. Started out as a friendship thing, and I got on, and the fire department is kind of a tight bond of people, so it kind of fit what I was looking for as far as friendship and camaraderie, and it kind of grabbed me, as it probably did you, obviously. And it's just something different every day. there's no 2 days that are alike. I mean, you got some downtime. This is one of our downtimes, usually in the morning, cleaning and stuff like that. But it's you're seeing something new every day, and it's always interesting and exciting. So.
The fire department was right up the street from my house, like 10 houses away. And when I turned 18, I decided I wanted to go be a fireman. So I joined the fire department as soon as I was able to, 18 years old. There wasn't a junior program back then, so I started when I was 18.
It was a no-brainer. I was cutting grass one day. I was working for St. Agnes Nursing Home down off Kirkwood. I'd been to Mizzou for 2 years, and it was literally kind of an epiphany. I was mowing grass one day, and I said, I'm not going to be an accountant. My dad was a firefighter. My grandfather was a firefighter, and it literally was that clear to me that day.
Now for my story. I'm currently a junior firefighter with the Fire Protection District. This allows me to experience firsthand what it's like to be a firefighter. I attend my own trainings each month, and I'm able to ride along with the full-time guys and assist on all the calls. Like everyone else, I have my reason. My grandfather was a firefighter, and my father was a volunteer firefighter. Firefighting is something that is in my family. With my dad being a volunteer, I was able to see the life of a firefighter in a different way at a young age. Whether it was just going to help check out the volunteer truck on Sundays after church or getting to ride along with the truck to breakfast on my birthday, I was able to have experiences that other kids didn't really have. It caused me to fall in love with this profession. I thoroughly enjoy my time that I have spent as a junior firefighter. I intend to attend college and double major in fire arson explosion investigation and fire protection engineering. I intend to continue my career in the fire service. This documentary can truly only offer a glimpse into the life of a firefighter. Being a firefighter isn't something you do while you are just on shift. Being a firefighter is a lifestyle. What you're able to learn as a firefighter sticks with you your whole life. Firefighters, in the true sense, really are heroes. And I have seen that in my time around the fire department. The people that I'm able to interact with on the crews are truly amazing people. The experiences that I have shaped me and helped me grow as a person. As a firefighter, you truly do learn something every day. The knowledge that you accrue is endless. As the job evolves, so do you. Being able to assist those around us in our community is more of a reward than anyone could ask for. I wouldn't trade the time that I've been able to spend around the fire department for anything in the world.